Hey, Magic fans, welcome back. This is the Captain speaking here on Capnclydes MTG. Today, we are on to more spoilers for Dragonstorm, the old Tarkir style, and man, oh man, are they looking sweet. This is a powerful set, powerful. So, don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, notifications down below. Check out the description for links to eBay. You can buy some cards, become a YouTube member for as little as $1. Get you some good perks. Just ask my boy Sawyer. Keep hooking him up. At least I hope he's getting his money's worth, because I'm not refunding it. Sorry. Not joking. Anyway, with all that said, let's look into these sweet spoilers. We're going to start off with Commander this time and the Commander Sidisi deck. So these are the 8 Sidisi cards in the Commander deck that are new. So let's go through them one by one. We'll start with the Floral Evoker. I was kind of called that once when I was in school. Anyway, a green and 2 for a 2/3 has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on it. For a green, discard a creature card. Return target land card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That is interesting. That's almost kind of sort of like a mana dork. Just saying. You put some fetch lands with it. That seems really powerful. But discarding a creature card could be very costly. So yeah, we'll see how good it is, but let's be honest, sometimes you want creatures in the graveyard. Moving on, next we have Steward of the Harvest, green and 3 for a 3/3. When it enters, exile up to 3 target land cards from your graveyard. I'm noticing a trend here. Graveyard and landing creatures. Creatures you control have all activated abilities of all land cards exiled with this creature. Does this say exile 3 land, turn your battlefield into mana dorks? I think it does. This could be a hell of a ramp card. Plus, it's a druid. We've talked about this. So, yeah. Not to mention probably some weird shenanigans it can do, which, oh my god, I couldn't even imagine. Yeah, just couldn't imagine. Moving on, next we have the Will of the Sultai. Green and 4. I don't really see anything black about this card. But anyway, point being, green and 4 for a sorcery. You get to choose one. If you control your commander, you get both. Target player mills 3 cards. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. That's a hell of a ramp spell, especially late game. Put X +1/+1 counters on target creature. Where X is the number of lands you control, it gains trample. Also known as, I kill you now. This seems like an amazingly powerful card. I mean, in Commander, playing a whole bunch of fetches and stuff, and then giving something a whole bunch of +1/+1 counters and trample, and just sending it. I think this is probably going to see some decent play. Next, we have the Viner of the Mist. That's some sweet art. Blue and 4 for a 4/5 flyer. When this creature attacks, mill 4 cards. You may cast an instant sorcery spell from your graveyard, mana value 4 or less, without paying its mana cost. Thank God this doesn't have flash. Sweet God. If that spell would be put in your graveyard, you then have to exile it. And luckily, it's 4 or less. So nothing too busted can happen unless you play Time Walk. Like real Time Walk. Like the Time Walk. Or Ancestral. Almost any of the power cards that are instants. Wheel of Fortune. This is going to be huge for 5 mana. Holy cow, is this good. Alright. Next we have Welcome the Dead. Black and 3 sorcery to draw 2 cards, then discard a card, lose 2 life. Create X tapped 2/2 black zombie druid creature tokens, where X is the number of cards that were put into your graveyard from your hand or library this turn. And it has flashback. Whew. So this 4 mana spell will let you draw 2 cards, discard a card. So you draw 2, lose 2 life, discard a card, make a 2/2 black zombie druid. Again, druid. We've talked about why it's important. Plus it has flashback, so like it's just good in general. This seems very powerful, and yeah, this is going to be sweet. Plus, notice it says X is the number of cards that were put into your graveyard from your hand or library this turn. Hand or library. Just mill yourself for about 7 or 8 cards, then say welcome the dead, and then poof, zombie druid horde. So, moving on, we have Taval's Judgment, black and 2 enchantment. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, choose one that has been chosen this turn, draw a card, create a treasure token, or create a 2/2 black zombie druid. Sweet Jesus, this is fucking sweet. So much druid and so much coolness. All kinds of reanimator spells can get cards out of your graveyard to trigger this card so you can draw, make a zombie druid, steal your opponent's lands, or make treasure tokens. Like, so much going on here. This is just absurd. This deck is really sweet. Next, we have Afterlife from the Loom. That's funny. Okay. Seriously. All right. 3 black and 5 colorless. Okay, that's rough for a sorcery. It does have Delve, so it could be as cheap as 3 black. Now, for each player, choose up to 1 target creature card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards on the battlefield under your control. They're zombies in addition to their other types. Oh, God. The horror. Or the zombies, that is. This is sweet in Commander. Wow, this is a cool rare. Yeah, like, in a 4-player game, this is just bananas. Holy cow. All right, moving on. We have the Colossal Grave Reaver, last card. Looks like that dragon's got a little fungus among us. Anyway, green, black, and 6, so 8 mana for a 7/6 flyer. Bit rough. When it attacks or enters, you get to mill 3 cards. Okay. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from your library, put one of them onto the battlefield. Holy shit. Wow. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into your graveyard from the library, put one of them on the bat. So you cast this for 8, you get a 7/6 flyer, you proceed to mill 3, and then put a creature, if there's a creature in those 3, onto the battlefield. Like Grizzlebrand. I know it's banned. It's an example. Love of God, calm down. I'm just saying, there's tons of weird shit and shenanigans you could put on top of your deck so that you cast this, purposely mill a creature, and be like, well, look at this big nappy. Wow, this thing is sweet. This is going to be a Commander All-Star. This is just too cool. And it's green, so there's ramp, right? So that's the thing. Yeah, this is amazing. Holy cow. All right, so we are now done with Commander. Let's get into the real set. We've got quite a few to go over. We have Flamehold Grappler, red, blue, and white. 3/3 first striker, already decent. When it enters, copy the next spell you cast this turn. You may choose new targets. This is absurdly good. Especially in Commander. Because, if I get to 5 mana and I'm playing an America deck, I'm going to cast the Grappler and then Time Walk. Twice. Yeah, this has lots of potential. I mean, this is really, in my opinion, good enough for Standard right now. Because late game, I mean, we got plenty of 1, 2 mana removal spells. Casting this and then popping off 2 spells at once to wipe the opponent's troublesome creatures out of the way or whatever. Plus, it's a 3/3 first striker. You know how hard it is to kill a 3-powered first striker? For the love of Christ. Plus, it's got 3 toughness. That's pretty good. I mean, it dies to any red removal spell. But that's okay. If this thing was like a 3/4, that'd be a bit much. Yeah. This is good. Next, we have Death Begets Life. Blue, green, black, and 5. Sadisi colors. Destroy all creatures and enchantments. Draw a card for each permanent destroyed this way. This is a good way to deck yourself in a 4-player game. Holy shit. But cool. I mean, unless somebody throws out an Orcish Bowmaster, and, well, that's probably your ass. But point being, very interesting. I don't know how well it's going to get. I mean, this is probably just a Commander card. It's just so expensive. I mean, if you did pull this off in Standard, you're going to deck yourself because you're going to draw like half your deck. Yeah. And then be out of mana to cast anything, so you're going to discard down to 7. I don't know. Seems a bit wonky to me. Probably just Commander only. Next, we have Dragonstorm Forecaster. 1 blue for an 0/3 Human Scout. For 2 colorless, you tap it. Search your library for a card named Dragonstorm Globe or Boulder Born Dragon. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. This just sucks. I mean, fine for limited, good for commander, because the Dragonstorm Globe we'll get to later is a good mana rock. The Boulder Dragon is also pretty good. It helps you do mana fixing. But in a vacuum, this just seems very unimpressive for a uncommon. Now, if it was a dragon creature type, it'd be a different story because things trigger off dragon types. But this is a human scout, and I just don't see it being that great. I mean, it's okay in Commander. Speaking of the Dragonstorm Globe, here we go. 3 colorless. Each dragon you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. Taps for any color. Decent mana rock. Probably really only going to see play in dragon decks. But in a dragon deck, it is probably one of the premier dragon rocks. Dragon rocks. Mana rocks. Anyway, my rocks. Your rocks. Breaching Dragonstorm. All right. Red and 4 colorless enchantment. When it enters, you exile cards from top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost if the spell is value 8 or less. If you don't, put the card into your hand. Now, when a dragon enters, you return it to your hand. This is through the breach for the same casting cost, except it doesn't go to your graveyard and go away. You just do this every turn once you hit 5 land, and you just start slinging dragons on the table. To me, this seems bananas. B-A-N-A. So anyway, yeah, there's going to be a standard deck built around this. This is going to be amazing in Commander. Like, there's so much going on here. Yeah, because you play this, you hit a dragon, you put the dragon in play, you pick it up, next turn, cast it again. You ain't got to have cards in your hand. You start playing from the top of your deck. I mean, at some point, you'll miss a dragon, but you'll probably have some kind of dragon thing in your hand that will put this back in your hand and repeat process. This seems really good to be an uncommon. I mean, for the love of Christ. Do I have a Through the Breach laying over here somewhere? Let me look. Hang on. Through the Breach. Nope. All right, don't have a Through the Breach left laying around over here. Point being, this is absurd. I don't believe, or I don't understand. Oh, here's Through the Breach. Yeah. All right, same mana. The only difference is this thing says Splice on the Arcane. Oh, here's the difference. Stuff doesn't get haste. Oh, darn. What will we do without haste? Cast it again next turn. Yeah, this is an uncommon, and I am excited because... Well, I'm not excited because this is going to be a fucking menace. But anyway, moving on. We have Narset's Rebuke. Hey, there's my boy. Oh, is he telling Sarkhan no? I thought they were a team. It pisses me off. Anyway, red and 4 colorless instant deals 5 damage to target creature. Then you get to add America to your mana pool, red, blue, and white. If that creature would die this turn, you exile it. That's great for limited. Probably the only thing it's going to see play in. We have Avenger of the Fallen, black and 2 for a 2/4 Death Toucher. It has Mobilize X, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard. This can get so out of hand, so fast. Holy cow. Well, this will probably see some standard play in some way. I mean, we have Priest of the Schism, and I'm not saying this is better, but if I've got 10 creatures in my graveyard, Priest of Schism either lets me draw a card or make a 1/1 lifelinker. If I swing with this and I get 10 1/1 attacking creatures, it seems like that might be better. I mean, what are they going to do? Block and kill this? Go for it. It's got Death Touch. And 4, it's got big booty. It's got 4 in the butt. It's going to be hard to kill it. Might have to double block it. Seems good. All right, next we have Alicia's Legacy. Black and 1, target creature you control gains Death Touch and indestructible to end of turn. It's an instant. It's your basic combat trick for limited. Probably all it's going to see. We have Yothin Road Watcher. Yothin, whatever. Black, green, white, and 1 for 83/3. When the creature enters, if you cast it, mill 4 cards. When you do, return target creature card mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is already powerful, and I like it a lot in Standard. Now, let me take a step back and say, I cast this, target Eternal Witness. Put it on the battlefield. Trigger Eternal Witness. You see where I'm going with this? Out of control. And there's plenty of 3 mana cards that do the exact thing Eternal Witness does. There's the white one. There's some other ones. Some way, shape, or form. Yeah. This thing is nuts. I think it's got lots of playability. All right, moving on, we have the Twin Maw Stormbrood. Interesting. That picture's weird. I can't tell if like this is the top of its head or if its head's upside down. I think it's the top of the head. Anyway, so weird. A white and 5 for a 5/4 flyer that when it enters, you gain 5 life. Great for limited. The cherry on top for a red and 1. It deals 5 damage to target creature without flying. This is the epitome of I kill all your shit. It is an omen. It goes back to your deck once you use it. And when there's nothing left to kill, you're just like, hey, look, I've got a big thing with wings, and I'm going to kick you in the John Thomas with it. This thing looks amazing. If you never cast it for 6, you're probably also never losing because they'll never have a creature. Anyway, moving on. Next we have Tursa Light Shatterer. Red and 2 for a 3/3. Sorry, the picture sucked when I copied it. It has haste. When it enters, you discard up to 2 cards and draw that many cards. Sweet. Whenever it attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, exile a card at random from your graveyard. You may play that card this turn. Not for free. You still have to pay mana for it. But still cool. Because you can attack, pull a removal spell out of your graveyard, and zap the blocker out of the way. Lightning Bolt. Shock. Pick your poison. Yeah. This seems pretty powerful for Standard. And probably good enough for at least Commander. Next, we have Fresh Start. A blue and 1 enchantment. Flash, you enchant a creature. It gets -5, -0, and loses all abilities. Basic blue removal for limited. It's going to be fine. It is what it is. Get one of these every time. Sonic Shrieker. Black, white, red, and 2 for a 4/4 flyer. Not terrible, not great. But when it enters, it deals 2 damage to any target. You gain 2 life. If a player is dealt damage this way, they discard a card. This is, wow, I like this. So basically, this is a 3 to 4 mana card. It's a 4/4 flyer. Honestly, okay. Player has to discard a card. That's 1 black. All right, so now we're down to a white, red, and 2. Deals 2 damage to any target. You gain 2 life. Lightning Helix does 3 damage, so we'll get rid of 1 mana and a colorless. Half a colorless, even. So for 2 mana and then another half of a mana, you're getting a 4/4 flyer. This seems like a fucking deal. Holy cow. Yeah. And, to be fair, that red spell for 5 mana, I would love to cast that over and over, put this into play, pick it back up, cast it again, put another one of these into play, they're not legendary, and continue to make my opponent discard a card, take 2 damage while I gain 2 life, and then punch him in the face. Seems like a plan. Moving on. So, next we have Snakeskin Veil reprint. Same things it always was. 1 green, put a counter on something that gains hexproof. Now it's common. Quarry Mountain Stalwart. White, red, and 1 for a 3/3. It does have Flurry. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, this creature deals 2 damage to each opponent, and you gain 2 life. Lightning Helix with legs, I guess. Seems really powerful. I mean, it's going to be fine in limited. Probably good in Commander. I just don't think it does enough for Standard. I mean, I could be wrong. I could easily be wrong, depending on the format, but we'll have to wait and see. Next, we have Essence Anchor. Blue and 2 artifact. Beginning of your upkeep, surveil 1. Not terrible. Tap. Create a 2/2 black zombie druid. Oh, here we go. Creature token. Activate only during your turn and only if a card left your graveyard this turn. Left your graveyard? All right, I'm sure this has a purpose. It's going to be fine and limited regardless because surveilling every turn if you never use it is still sweet because you can get those pesky lands out of the way. Other than that, maybe some play in Commander, but I don't think it's going to go much past that. There's just better things to do for 3 mana. Kishla Skimmer. Is that supposed to be some kind of weird name play on Flying Fish? Anyway. Blue and a green for a 2/2 flyer. Already decent. Whenever a card leaves your graveyard during your turn, you get to draw a card. Only triggers once each turn. This only triggers only once each turn. Whenever a card leaves your graveyard during your turn. So it only triggers on your turn. That's really weird wording. But anyway, this is still sweet. I mean, there's plenty of ways for things to leave your graveyard. You can reanimate them or whatever else going on, exile them for whatever reason, with Delve even, and trigger this to draw a card. And as a 2/2 flyer, I think this is pretty good. Next, we have Bone Karen Butcher. Black, white, red, and 1 for a 4/4. Mobilize 2. So you get 2 1/1s attacking. Attacking tokens you control have Death Touch. Oh, Nelly. Someone's going to try to play this. And if someone doesn't, I will. Because this seems like a menace in Standard. Also, hear me out. In these same colors, there's cards that make sure that tokens don't go away when they need to be sacrificed. Just putting it out there. It's going to be great for Commander, in my opinion, for the exact same reason, because there's a lot more going on, a lot more cool stuff it can interact with. So, next we have the War Effort. Red and 3. Creatures you control get +1/+0. Whenever you attack, create a 1/1 red warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice it at the beginning of your end step. This seems terrible, especially as an uncommon. Probably okay for limited. It would probably really shine in a aristocrat style deck, but at 4 mana, I think you're just asking too much. Next we have Heritage Reclamation. Oh yeah. Hold up. Green and a colorless, instant. Story an artifact, story an enchantment. Seems like disenchant. But you could also exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard to draw a card. We just saw that the blue-green flyer, you could exile a card out of your own graveyard to draw a card for this, and from the bird. Basically, this would be a draw 2 for 2 in green. Regardless, this should be in every deck or sideboard because it's disenchant with a better ability attached to it. For the love of Christ, why is it green? Anyway, moving on. Next, we have the Mardu Devotee. 1 white for a 1/2. Pretty good. It's a human scout. When this creature enters, you get to scry 2. Also sweet. And it mana filters for Mardu colors. Any one colorless can make you a red, white, or black. It only can be activated once each turn, but it is mana fixing. Going to be amazing for limited, probably Commander. Might even see some Standard play. It is a 1/2 that lets you scry for white weenie. Might be good enough. And don't worry, every color's got a guy like this. And I don't mean does the same thing, but I mean filtering mana dork. So in blue, we have a 2 mana 3/3 defender that does the same thing. That just really sucks. Man, they really hose blue on that one. That's okay. They get all the rest of the stuff that gets good. The Azban 1 is the Abzan Devotee for a black and 1. It filters for the Abzan colors for a black and 2. Return this card from your graveyard to your hand. That's cool, especially since it's a 2/1. It could do the beatdown. Oh, it's a dog cleric. I have questions. But if you're in the dog decks, here you go. Rin and Siri, anybody? Anyway. Next, we have the Jeskai Devotee, clearly an orc monk, because that's what orcs like to do, become celibate monks. Anyway, red and 1 for a 2/2. That's already sweet. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, it gets +1/+1 counter. Wow, this is the best one. Holy shit. Plus, it filters mana. It's even in blue, red, and white. Some of the best instant spells to get a second. Oof, this is going to be good. Yeah, so this will probably see Standard play. Next, we have the Sultai Devotee, green and 1 for a 2/1 with Death Touch. This is also pretty sweet. And also filters land. I don't think it's good enough for Standard, maybe. But definitely good enough for Limited. It's pretty much a filter land that has legs and can kill something. Might be good enough for Commander if you really need mana fixing, but really think you should have your lands built right. But anyway. Next, we have Host of the Hereafter. Green, black, and 2 for a 2/2. When this creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, 4 mana, 4/4. Right on par. Whenever this creature or another creature you control dies, if it had counters on it, put its counters on up to 1 target creature you control. Oh, so this is just a callback to the old Constrictor doubling season style decks. At least they got a little something, I guess. Next, we have River Wheel Sweep. So, 2 colorless each, or America, red, white, and blue. Tap target creature, put 3 stun counters on it. Wow, that's high. That keeps something tapped down for a while. Exile top 2 cards in your library. Choose one of them until end of next turn. You may play that card. Excuse me. This is not only tempo removal, but this is also card draw. This looks really good. Unfortunately, it is a sorcery, but I mean, there's an argument to be made that this should be used. Moving on, we have another one. This one is the Monastery Messenger. 2 colorless. So 6 colorless or red, white, and blue. Good old America. Bird Scout, that's a 2/3 flying vigilance. If you cast this on turn 3, you're doing pretty good. And when this creature enters, put up to 1 target non-creature, non-land card from your graveyard on top of your library. That seems really sweet in Limited. And probably also pretty good for Commander. However, this might be a bit shy of being standard quality. It's close. I mean, it's real close. Next, we have the Clarion Conqueror, white and 2 dragon. It's a 3/3 flying, and activated abilities of artifacts, creatures, and planeswalkers can't be activated. I thought the blue land was going to be the most expensive card. This may be the most expensive card. This is insanely good, and it's cheap, and it's a dragon. It locks down mana rocks, all artifacts, creature abilities. Planeswalkers are nerfed, so they have to just sit there while you proceed to punch them in the face with your 3/3 flyer, which is already going to be hard to block. This is amazing. This and the blue land is going to be very close to being the 2 best rares in the set, in my opinion. Next, we have Effortless Master, red, blue, and 2 for a 4/3 with Vigilance and Menace. That's so weird. Anyway, this creature enters with 2 +1/+1 counters on it if you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. Good God. Ask for much? I mean, a 6/5 with Vigilance and Menace is a hell of a thing. So, I mean, I guess it should be hard to get it, but like, Jesus. I mean, if you cast 2 1-mana spells, it'd be 6 mana to get a 6/5 with Vigilance and Menace. It's pretty much the same as the 4-mana 4/3. I don't know. I mean, fine for Limited, I guess. Whatever. Next, we have, the Dragonologist. Blue and 2 for a 1/3. When this creature enters, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal an instant, sorcery, or dragon card from among them and put it into your hand. The rest go on the bottom in random order. Untapped dragons you control have hexproof. Holy cow, is this thing beef. I mean, this is like a little bit weaker goblin guy who fishes guys off the top of the deck because you only get 1. But your untapped guys get hexproof. Like, if you could equip this thing with something that turns it into a dragon, then all your stuff's got hexproof. This has got some potential. I mean, it'll be hard for it to see some real play, but at 3 mana to search your deck for dragon-style instant or sorcery cards, there might be something here. Next, we have Coordinated Maneuver. White and 1. You get to choose one. It deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to a creature or planeswalker, or you destroy target enchantment. This is not as good as the green one. Much less better. That's good English. But fine for Limited. Whatever. Disappointment. So there you have it, guys. That's what we have going on from Tarkir today. And, man, this set's looking good. Way better than Aether Drift. And to be fair, I mean, this may be as good, if not better, than Duskmourn, and it's at Bloomburrow too. But caveat to that, I am a Tarkir fanboy. Love this realm. And Sarkhan. If I mentioned I like Sarkhan. So, until next time, be kind. And as always, I hope to see you across from the game table. God, I can't wait to play this set.